Hi, this is the Reading Essentials for Chapter 1, Lesson 1, The First Americans, Migration to America. The terms you need to know are archaeologist, the study of ancient people. Artifact, a tool, weapon, or object left behind by early people. A strait is a narrow strip of water connecting two larger bodies of water. Migration is the movement of a large number of people into a new area. A nomad is a person who moves from place to place. Maize is a type of corn. Carbon dating is a scientific way to find out the age of an artifact. Culture is people's shared values, beliefs, traditions, and behaviors. We learned that they came from Asia on this land that was not covered by water called Beringa, which is now the Bering Strait. They came down through North America and into South America. Some traveled by foot and some traveled by boat. A lot of these are on your quiz for tomorrow, so you can reference back to this video. The migration begins. People lived in Asia for thousands of years before Christopher Columbus arrived. Where did they come from? How did they get here, and when did they arrive? Scientists wanted to answer these questions. Some are experts in the study of ancient peoples, which is called an archaeology. To discover clues, they study artifacts, or like souvenirs, things that the ancient people left behind. These things can be tools, weapons, or other objects. Artifacts are one of the tools archaeologists use to put together the pieces of the puzzle. Some archaeologists think that they understand how the first people arrived in North America. They believe that many thousands of years ago, a strip of land connected Asia and the Americas. This gave people a way to travel from one continent to the other. These scientists think that people used this strip of land to cross from Asia to America 20,000 or more years ago. Once again, here's the vocab: archaeology and archaeologist and artifacts. This is the study of ancient people. This is the person who studies it, and these are the objects that they find. The temperature of the earth has changed throughout history. There have been some periods of extreme cold, and they were called the Ice Ages. The most recent one started 100,000 years ago. It did not end until about 12,000 years ago. During the Ice Age, much of Earth's water began to freeze into huge sheets of ice. These sheets of ice are called glaciers. So much water froze into glaciers that sea levels got lower. So it kind of sucked up all the water into the icebergs, into the glaciers, which made the land exposed. When the sea levels were lower, there was a strip of land that connected northeastern Asia to what is now Alaska in the land bridge in North America. Today, scientists call the strip of land or land bridge Beringa. Today, it's warmer and the sea levels are higher. Beringa is covered by the Bering Strait. A strait is a narrow strip of water that connects two larger bodies of water. The Bering Strait was named for a famous explorer, Vitus Bering. He's the one that discovered it. When you discover something, you get to name it. Page 3 over here, and we have a little bit more on page 4. Bear with me. Many scientists think that people traveled from Asia to North America over this land bridge, but some scientists disagree. They think that people may have come from Asia in boats. Coming by boat would have made it easier for people to spread throughout North and South America faster. So we have the Ice Age, the ocean water freezes, and then people can walk across the land bridge. No matter how they came, people eventually spread east all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. They also spread south to the southern tip of South America. When a lot of people move from one area to another like this, it's called migration. People probably traveled in search of food. Early people were nomads. Nomads are people who move from place to place looking for hunting grounds. Even though these people also ate wild grains and fruits, much of their food came from hunting. So they really have no home. They just travel around. Migration, think of birds, the large groups of people or birds. When the first people arrived from Asia, they found many animals to hunt. For example, they hunted bison. They hunted two animals that look like elephants called mammoths and mastodons, important for the quiz. These people hunted with spears. Around 1,500 years ago, Earth began to warm. As temperatures rose, glaciers began to melt. The oceans rose and water covered the Bering Land Bridge. This cut Asia off from North America once again. So the water took over. No more land bridge. The large animals began to disappear. Early Americans had to find other sources of food, which included fish and small animals. Settlement. Around 10,000 years ago, there was a major change in how people got food. From farming, people in what is now Mexico began planting a type of corn called maize. They also grew pumpkins, beans, and squash. These crops gave them a good supply of food. Because they could grow their own food, they did not have to move around anymore. This meant they could spend more time doing other things. Their quality of life got better. After the early people learned to farm, some remained nomads. Some just traveled. Others lived in permanent settlements or villages. They built houses from clay, stone, or wood. They made pottery, tools, and cloth. Today, we sometimes find such artifacts where their villages once stood. Carbon dating, which we'll also learn about in science later on when we do fossils, is a scientific process that measures how much radioactive carbon an artifact contains. Scientists can use measurement to decide how old the artifact is. They have used this process on artifacts from North American villages and found that some villages existed about 5,000 years ago. Scientists can tell that farming changed people's lives. As early Americans settled down, they began to share beliefs and ways of doing things. They shared traditions and behaviors called cultures. Many of us have cultures and traditions within our own family. Thanks for following along. You can re-listen to this tomorrow to help you with the quiz if you need, or the chapter reading from Monday. You can click on that again, the PowerPoint, to find answers for the quiz. The quiz tomorrow is online, right in Schoology. Thanks for your time.